Hello, and welcome to my man cave. First review I've done up here in a long time, but got a new baby, in-laws over, and the weather's gorgeous. So we're here with Carlton Melton's Record Store Day exclusive, limited 500 copies only, live in Europe. Now I know what you're thinking, Record Store Day has passed, blah blah blah. Well, don't care. It's Carlton Melton. Long-term visitors to the site will know it's someone I've championed right from the first album. So they're always going to get special treatment. I always feel especially fond of them. Just going to adjust the volume so you can hear me a bit better. You can probably tell it's a bit of a strange primitive setup here in the man cave. The record player's actually on a slope. What can you do? The weight of all the gear on here creates a gravity, but hoping the needle won't go flying during our little session. So, as you can see, it's a rather beautiful splatter vinyl. It's also a double. It's called Live in Europe. Sides 1 to 3 capture an entire gig from somewhere in Belgium. Die Kroon Conservatorium in Kortrijk. I'm probably saying it totally wrong. There's a nice kind of flow to their concert, and the way it all fits onto vinyl quite nicely. So here on side 1 opens up with photos of photos from the recent album of the same name. And this side 1 is definitely the beautiful, blissed out, drumless, mellow opening space. This tour they were down to a free piece for travel purposes. She had Rich Millman on guitars and synths, Andy Duval at this point on guitars, but later on he plays drums, and then Clint Golden on bass. So, you know, I always say this about Carlton Melton, but they just make this beautifully blissed out psychedelic rock. And finally catching them live last year on this tour, they delivered it in spades live. They were a band I've been waiting to see literally for years, to see them on a stage. I always vowed that when they did do a UK tour, I'd bring them to Hebden Bridge. So very proud to say I did. It's one of those gigs where afterwards I'd go to people and say, "Told you so," and they were all agreeing. So we'll move forward a bit. Track side ends with a Smoke Trip from their recent, well no, not recent, but last year now, from the 12-inch Smoke Drip. Also appears as a bonus track on the CD version of Photos of Photos. Even stripped down to a three-piece, Carlton Melton still have this big, wide, wonderful, expansive sound. And so that is the beautifully mellow side 1. Continuing this marvellous Belgian gig. There's a track on here that, best of my knowledge, hasn't appeared anywhere else. In fact, no, it hasn't appeared anywhere else, because Carlton Melton is someone whose discography I've followed with obsessive detail. This track's called Personal Space. I have to say it's been beautifully mastered as this album. I heard plenty of recordings of the European shows, you know. We live in the modern internet age. YouTube and fan sites and FLAC-filled concert archives. And lots of fun recordings out there, but nothing quite like hearing them on beautifully mastered vinyl. That's why they've got Mr. John McBain mastering things for them. It really wasn't going to be a disappointment. So, side 2 is when things start to move up a notch. At a certain point, Andy moves over to the drum kit and starts getting pretty wild. The rocking really begins with the one that got away. It's hard to spot the grooves though. I've got direct sunlight shining onto here, and I keep getting hypnotised by the beautiful green splatter, so I think I can see it. I'll just pluck the fluff off the needle. Mine's getting a bit blunt. Oh. Nope, I can't see it. I've dropped us well into the rock action, but well. See, Rich is a hell of a guitarist, and he's a wild man there on the drums. Clint holding it down on the bass, giving him a nice tight rhythm structure to let loose in. That's the amazing thing about this set that they took around Europe, that they would start you off all blissful and mellow, and then wham! This kicks in. So after all that blissed out drumless sound, they go and do this to you, and it's impossible not to grin your face off when those gears go up. Now then, we'll take you over to side 3, which is the final bit of the Belgian gig, with the March of the Cicadas, which, like the last track, one that got away, is one of the ones that appeared on compilations and 12 inches. There's a really nice compilation CD Aquarius Records put out for Record Store Day last year that collects together all those hard to find odds and ends. Although I think the one that got away appears as an extended version as a CD bonus track on Country Ways, going from memory. March of Cicadas appears there as well in a live version from the radio station, but this live version here in Belgium I think is even better. Let it play through the moment the guitar kicks in is just... I forgot how long it takes for the guitar to kick in. You just get so lost in the music you don't have any sense of time. I'm getting my versions mixed up. They tease this one out more here. But if I pick up the needle, we'll miss that absolute sweet spot where the rocking up begins. Teasing with us here. I'm just gonna skip the needle along. Oh boy, that is getting blunt now. Well, it is a epic, mysterious, dark march here. They end this Belgian set with their cover of Pink Floyd's When You're In, that opens their first album, singing a signature track. Trying to find the groove. So hard to find it. This is clear vinyl with a green splatter, and there's a pattern on my slip mat below. It's very hypnotic. So I'll let you hear the revvings up of When You're In. The last track from their Belgian set, and then we'll get up to side 4. What a tease. But what is side 4, you ask? Because that's the entire Belgian gig. Well, it's Hebden Bridge. The encore from Hebden Bridge. Because they played that full set in Hebden, and then they decided to play an extra track. A Hawkwind cover, no less. And just listen to these madmen audience in Hebden Bridge. Screaming and baying for more. I think we're louder than the Belgian audience. I'm probably one of those voices. I had a bit of a sore throat the next day.
This is the first time we're going to play this on this tour.
They certainly judged their Hebden audience well covering this for them. It's Time We Left This World Today by Hawkwind, given the Carlton Melton treatment here in Hebden Bridge. that rip over the whole of side 4, including a second guitar solo from Chris Hardman, the Dead Sea Apes, who were supporting and kindly recorded this gig. It's an absolute classic live album in my book. I've always got so much time for Carlton Melton. One of those bands that when something from them drops in, I have to drop everything and listen to it. So, what we've got here is an essential addition to Carlton Melton's discography. I hope you can score a copy. It was only 500, but hopefully if you go see the band live, they'll have some copies with them. Or maybe the internet will be kind to you and sell you a copy for a nice, decent, same price. I love it.